Hello. In this video, I want us to take a look at a very important method called zip. And what this function zip does is it takes a list or a number of iterables, and by iterables, I'm talking of any data type that is subscriptable, any data type that you can use indexing to select individual items. So it supports the tuple, it also supports the list. Now what this zip function does is to take in two or more iterables and it is going to aggregate them into pairs. If that doesn't make sense, I have already prepared an example for you in a file called listzip.py. In this file, I have defined two lists. The first one is countries and the second one is capitals. So there is Ghana, there is Germany, there is France, and for the capitals list, there is Accra, Berlin, and Paris. Now I want to be able to match each country to its capital, okay? So how do we do that? Well, that is why the zip function is available to us. So I'm going to create another variable to store the result of the aggregation, and I'm going to call that pairs because I'm going to get a country capital pair, okay? And I'm going to say is equal to zip, and then I'll pass in countries and I'll also pass in capitals, okay? Now let's print the pairs and let's run this program. So I'm working in the file called listzip, okay? So listzip.py, and you can see that it says it returns a zip object. This is similar to how we use the range object, and when we printed it out it was showing us range object. Well, we can cast this to a list and see what is actually in there, okay? So let's cast this to a list and see if that is possible. So I'm going to come down here and run it again, and you can see that now we have a list of tuples, and each of the tuples is a mapping of country to capital. Sorry, I copied this when I didn't want to copy. Let me just, let me clear screen and run it again. Nope, yeah, this. So you can see that it matches Ghana to Accra, Germany to Berlin, France to Paris, okay? So this works by aggregating the corresponding pairs in each of the subscriptables or iterables that are passed in. And because it does this aggregation, it has a hard requirement. When I say hard requirement, I mean if that requirement is not met, then the function is going to fail, okay? And the hard requirement here is that the two iterables, which could be tuples or lists, should have the same length, because it doesn't make sense if you want to have an aggregation of two lists where one has 3 items and the other has 2 items. It wouldn't know what to do with the last one. So the hard requirement here is that the two lists should have the same length, and this is basically how we are able to use the zip function. And just in case you're wondering, okay, so what happens after zipping? Well, we have learned about how to loop over things. So at least you can loop over and then print the individual items. And you can see that when the zip function finishes its operation, it returns a list of tuples. So if I index into the list that is returned, which is pairs, each item is actually a tuple. So I can also index it further to get either the country or the capital. Why don't we do that as an exercise to see? So I want to print out each country and the corresponding capital. Okay, so what I can do now is I can say for P in pairs, you remember how we did a for loop over a list, okay? And then I can say print, and I'm going to use the printf here. So I can say print, I'm going to get the first index of P, which is supposed to be the country, and I'm going to use this arrow to say it maps to and I'm going to get the first index, which is supposed to be the capital. So what is not correct here? So I said P, and then, so what is this? Unexpected token, but this is an F string. So what is going on here? Let me see. Okay, so I need to, they need to have their own individual curly brackets, and that is what I forgot to do. So I have this here, sorry, I have this here, and then I'm going to bring this, and then we have to close this guy. All right, so let's print this, let's run this program and see what we get. So you can see that Ghana has Accra as the capital, Germany has Berlin as the capital, and France has Paris as the capital. So this is how we use the zip function whenever you want to aggregate a collection of iterables such that you have pairing between corresponding items. So thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video where we talk about another function called enumerate, which also helps us to step through a collection of items. So I will see you soon.